And in this episode of Split Screen, we are recapping Gorky Park, a mystery/love story where you ask yourself, is love worth staying in Russia for? This is Split Screen. Split Screen.
Split Screen. We're back.
This is Tony.
And I'm Doug.
And I just realized the movie answers my question. The answer is yes and no.
Well, yeah, no. I mean,
It's yes and no.
you know, our lead, what was his name again?
Renko. Arkady Renko. Yeah.
This is a cool name.
Yeah, it's a really cool name, actually.
Yeah.
Even his father's General Renko. He sounds like a person in like the Avatar, like a Fire Nation person. It's one of like.
Yeah, it is pretty close, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What's this movie about?
What is this movie about? It's about sables.
Yeah.
You know,
It's rich people wanting sables.
It's about Lee Marvin, Osborne, who wants to corner the market in Russian sables because the only place you could get sables back in the 80s, I'm not sure. This movie took place in the 80s or late 70s. The only place you could get Russian sables, which are very valuable, like millions of dollars, is from Russia. So his plan is to smuggle some sables out. He has some people who he promised that he would get them out if they helped him.
Yeah.
And instead, he just wanted it all for himself. So he kills them, and we get a murder mystery from that.
Yep.
Yeah. And a good one too. A really solid Cold War movie. Dreary, bleak, beautiful characters. I mean, all the way through. Everybody. Lee Marvin. I know you probably don't remember Lee Marvin, but he was very, very big back in the day, and you know, it was nice to see him again in something. And yeah, no, I love this movie. Not the best movie, but it is an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Another classic, another Don classic.
Yeah, another Don classic. I keep telling Don, we're here not only just to tear down stuff that you guys pretend is good because you're wrong, but also to reintroduce people to stuff they haven't seen before. Yeah, that totally.
Yeah, sure, I agree.
So that's one of these. So I agree.
Yeah. Well,
so you
give me your three. No, you give me. You start. I did the three last time on something. So give me three.
Not the last one we just did.
Oh yeah, we just did a movie last that I enjoyed immensely.
Yeah, see more of those Mr.
Really great.
First thing I liked, really strong acting. I mentioned this in the past review, and I'll continue it here. When you write characters and they have very specific goals and intentions, and you keep that true to the characters kind of write themselves. And this is one of those stories where you see these characters being themselves, acting in manners that not only make them true to the situation, but true to the mystery, because they're doing things that impact the case, that give more information. And, you know, I'm a little upset that so much hinged on Irina, because I hate it. That's my biggest thing. I don't like Irina.
Would that be two?
Yeah, number two. I don't like Irina.
Who was that? Who was Irina?
So, the three people were in contact with a girl they knew from college or somewhere or work or whatever. I think it was college. And she hooked them up or knew them through Osborne or something like that. And so when these three people go missing, she is held on the idea that because her only real and true goal is to get out of Russia, and that was promised to these three friends of hers, her whole dream and livelihood revolves around these people have to be alive. Otherwise, my only way out of the country is gone. Yeah. And at most, I'm signing myself up to die. And so that conflict puts her at odds with a man who I feel did everything and anything he could. So that's actually my third. I said strong characters, but I do need to highlight them because I think that's the best and worst parts of the movie. He's so well done. Renko as a lead is so well done because one, he's not putting up with any shit from the beginning. He's like, I don't want to be a part of this case. I don't want to do this. This is some crap. Also, this dude hates me, like just very not he's not getting lost down these little emotional rabbit holes. The only thing that happens with it's kind of with Irina, which fine, whatever. Because he loves her and that's the love interest. But like other than that, he's always doing the best thing he can for the situation at hand, with commitment, going all the way through it. And it's very commendable. When I think of when people want like a stoic hero, because I definitely make him a stoic, not super high peaks and valleys and emotions. You see a little bit an extreme with him being upset at Irina and his friend Pasha being murdered, stuff like that. So you get those things, but mostly he's pretty stoic. But for how he is, this is probably one of the best stoic hero characters in something because it's also resistant to a lot of the other strong kind of powers, whether it's Iamsky, who is his, friend that's not a friend that's behind his back, working with Osborn, to Osborn and his kind of dominance, untouchableness. I'm not used to anyone being here. The only reason this happening is because Iamsky was greedy and wanted more money and as much money as he could out of Osborn for helping with the Sables that he literally sacrificed his best asset to force more money out of him to cause almost all of them being dead.
Yeah.
So, it's a cool kind of just like
intrigue.
But,
I mean,
yeah.
everything was like a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could pay attention. I'm not like some young folk. I follow things.
You have to pay attention to this movie.
Yeah. And that's the difference between modern movies and past movies, I think, is that new movies don't want you to pay that much attention. They want to get by on you enjoying the lowest hanging thing you can, and you're not calling them out on it.
They absolutely don't want you to think today.
Yeah. You're on your phone anyway, looking at something else, so you're fine with it.
Even bigger movies, like, they just don't want you to think deeply on anything.
Yeah.
I mean, which is sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my 3.
All right, good 3. So my 3, I'm going to say the characters. I mean, every character in here, and I didn't mind. What was her name? Irina? Irina. Too much because you have to remember she was beautiful 80s. So any young teenager like myself, that was one of the things that attracted us to this movie.
Yeah.
Although, as an adult looking back, because I haven't seen this movie in 30 plus years easily, she really didn't have much of a part in this other than the female. And then she does betray him because she's so desperate to get out of Russia that she goes back to Osborn because she still wants to believe in the fantasy, even though there was an attempt on her life by the KGB, with the injecting her with overdose of drugs.
He risking himself over and over to save you. It's just a trick. For what? We can just kill you and be done.
The characters throughout the entire thing. I mean, Brian Dennehy's in this. Lee Marvin, as I said. I mean, you just got amazing actors. And I don't know if you noticed this, but the Emperor was in it from Star Wars. No, he was the guy. He was the
Palpatine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was the one that rebuilt the skull.
That was him. Oh, okay. I know that face. Yeah.
And he was, he was even evil kind of sounding there. You just get escaping when you get that kind of look. So I recognized him immediately. But the whole thing is just, I mean, they all work so well. All these character actors work so well together. On screen, off screen, from what I was reading the trivia, they didn't get along very well, particularly, Hurt and Marvin, both of them kind of alcoholics, drinking, fighting, that kind of stuff, egos. But, if they were able to put that aside and bring something that a gem, another lost movie that should be remembered and should be praised.
Yes, because Hurt was Kerwell, right?
Huh?
Hurt was he played Kerwell.
No, that's our lead.
Oh, well, who was the person he was fighting? Which character? Sorry.
Liam Osborn.
Okay, Osborn.
Yeah, sorry if I use their true names because I obviously don't, I don't have the ability to remember because it probably took me a couple of weeks before I remembered your name. Yeah, I just, I'm just one of those people, If I don't write it down, I don't remember it, you know.
Mhm.
Um, but so that was number one. Number two, it was filmed in Finland because I like the backstory. Russia at the time had pretty much banned the book because it was anti-Russian, anti-communist. So the movie wanted to originally film in Russia, but they couldn't, so they chose Finland,
Mm.
and it was dreary, just like you would expect. It was overcast every day. It was cold. I love that look.
Yeah.
I really do love that look. It's very, post World War II Soviet, bland, lifeless. And I know some of that's propaganda from our own movie industries back in the 80s. Uh, you had movies like this, like what was that one where Red Dawn and stuff
Mhm.
like that. These were movies that came out around that time. There were several of these. Uh, but I just love the look. And I'm going to spoil it because I love to spoil it.
Mhm.
But you go through 2 hours of this mystery as it builds up, and it not until maybe an hour and 45 minutes do you find out that this whole thing is about sable smuggling.
Mhm.
Osborne, the lead bad guy, his whole purpose, he's a rich American that deals with in fur trade, and he's come there to smuggle sables out of Russia because it's going to be his last time. So he wants to corner the market.
Yeah.
Uh, and so we go through all this, the KGB, people working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
His friend, what's the one,
Sasha.
the one that was dealing behind his back.
Mhm.
Uh, all this stuff goes on, and you find out these murders where they cut off the face, and
Mhm.
because they try to, three people are murdered at the beginning of this, but their identities were taken. They had cut off their face so they couldn't be identified, got rid of any kind of dental records, and it was all just for smuggling.
Yeah. A
Well, I
lot for
like
some
that.
money.
I like that about the movie. I
Mhm.
really did because this wasn't some, KGB movie.
Yeah.
We got a lot of those kind of stuff.
Well, just a political thing. Like
Yeah,
American
it wasn't
assassins
anything.
did it.
It was about smuggling.
Yeah.
And I liked that. I mean, it made the movie seem richer than if it would have just been
Yeah.
another Hunt for Red October enough. So yeah, no, those are my three. I give it good praise for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I that's why I like dark things. Like you'll find I like dark things. Like even if it speak no evil, I prefer the first one over the second one. Completely different movie, but when it's dark, especially because
I'll have to watch the first one.
yeah, but when it's dark because it's something so kind of mundane, right? Like, do you need to be going to this extent to get these sable furs and cost so much?
Tens of
You
millions
gotta
of dollars.
tens of millions of dollars, people dying. You got into it with the KGB, this guy's dead. Now, all of this over these little animals, which is funny because at the end we show Renko freeing all these little sables. Because just to kind of jump to the end anyway.
That
Because
was a
don't
good
watch this.
scene. That was a good scene at the
Yeah,
end.
it was a good scene because it's nice to be kind of free from BS like this. Like these animals are about to die so that someone can have a no hat.
I wonder if there was symbolism with with the releasing because she had won her freedom
Yeah,
finally because of Rinko.
yeah.
Uh,
Which was the answer to my.
so he had released her.
Mhm.
So maybe there's a connection between, just symbolically releasing the sables as well.
Yeah,
I don't
there's
know.
there's freedom too in do a choice and you 100% know it's the right one because again when I asked the question, is love worth staying in Russia for? The answer was yes because at the end she wanted to stay because she had did all of this to get out of Russia.
Yeah.
Then when he couldn't come with her, she changed her mind. This is a character who had up to this entire point been Russia's the number one thing.
See, that's what good writing's about because you're right. She was willing to stay for him,
Hmm.
but he knew that he was Russian and he could never leave. He
Yeah.
didn't want to leave. But if he would have kept her, she would have never been happy. She
Hmm.
may have loved him, but that wasn't the life
Yeah.
that he knew she wasn't supposed to
Yeah.
have.
And if he left, they would try to pursue them and eventually assassinate them, which would hurt her. So the obvious choice for both of them, even for their love, was
Only
we
way
have
to live, you know?
Yeah. And they did it willingly. And I like when, I mean, I feel things can be a lot more objective than people like to make them be. And because they throw in emotions and concerns and insecurities, they make the step where when people are just being honest about what they can all the time, the answers are easy. And I felt I got to see that, even though she wasn't necessarily used the best because she was, no, no,
Hey,
you know?
at least she killed Osborne.
Yeah, which is great. I love that turnaround too. He wants me to get close enough and shoot him with it. Now it's over with. And she gets revenge for her friends after finally accepting the truth. So I mean, she's not bad. She's just the least best kind of written for me at first. But overall, it was still really good.
Yeah. No, I have to agree. I mean, I'm glad I watched this. I mean, I'm glad it's been 30 years because I get to look at it, you know, as a different person.
Yeah.
You know, versus, you know, being in my 20s or teens now. And you really recognize, you know, I mean, everything, the way the camera is set and, you know, these people that come and go and the deals that Rinko has to make in order to save her life.
Yeah. And Ringo gets his ass beat a lot.
Oh my goodness, yes, he does.
Oof. And he don't make the best decisions either, you know, jumping through windows. I mean, but he's trying. And it's like, you know, got shit to do.
I also liked, you know, he was living in the shadow of his father too.
The imposter syndrome.
They were, you know, they were kind of making fun of him because he was not the same man as his father was. You know, his father had been a general in a war, So, you know, he came with that, and Rinko wasn't the same level. They didn't consider him the same level, but
yeah,
you know,
clearly they appreciated him though, but they were going to always use that against him because I think they said the good line I thought was, you know, your father was it not insubordinate something. He used somewhere to describe him, but then he said, but he had the luxury to, implying that like he was so much better that he could be imperfect, and that's still high.
Maybe that play.
And
you know, even though Rinko didn't want it, because Rinko really, he just wanted to pass this off to the KGB at the beginning.
He knew it was
a weakness. His friend that was using him in order to put pressure on Osborne wouldn't let him out of it.
Yeah.
So he drug into this, and that particular scene where they made fun of him, you know, because he wasn't the same standard level as his father. I think pushed him to solve this, make sure he solved it completely all the way through. I mean, and it made him stronger because there's just so many things that are going on in this movie. And even at one point I got a little confused.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out who's talking to who, because he's in a bar and he orders whatever drink that is, a horse drink. I can't remember it. But it was very significant because he's talking to some guys. You know, Brian Denny, you know, Williams there, and you know, he's passing notes to him. But then the KGB's there of other guys we haven't seen, so he's making a deal with them. But then there's another deal going on at the same time.
Yeah,
I mean, in Lee Marvin, you know, Osborne has his own deals as well. I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, amazing that the level of writing.
Yeah, intricacies come from the fact that people aren't as isolated as they like to think. A lot of people like to think, oh, your choices always mean some direct result you'll have. But if everyone else is also operating at the same level, you get forced intricities. Like, for instance, the only reason Renko was so pushed to solve it was because of his backstory with the head of the KGB, like Palucha, who they had got into an altercation. He was trying to get him arrested, and then he got like beat up for it or thrown in jail or something. So the only reason he wants to be away from this case and is solving it with the vigor he is, isn't because of the Jack Osborne or the Sables. It's because he just doesn't want to deal with this guy again.
He doesn't want to die.
Yeah, he doesn't want to die. It's like, it's funny how, you know, even things could have went differently for Yamsky if this other guy wasn't so closely attached, and you kind of miss what influences different people to do different things. And yeah, he can control Renko, but you're putting Renko in a situation where he can't deal with this other person. So just, that's well done writing.
Nice. All right. You ready to rate it?
Yeah.
You know, we'll get out of here. What do you think? Is it K-pop level or is it better?
How dare you? It's definitely better.
Well, you knew I was going to say that. You knew I was going to say that.
About
From now on, I'm going to, everything you do, I'm going to judge it off of what you're rating for K-pop.
Anyway, I give it like a 4.75.
4.75.
Yeah, I still don't like Arena.
Okay.
I don't like Arena. I felt like there was too much.
Wow, that's high praise. That's really.
I felt like I almost gave it 4.5. 4.5. I don't like Arena. I feel this man was way past the, like, in the court of law. I felt he was far and above beyond a reasonably doubt not to be this horrible, like just beyond it. I understand her denial. I understand that being her last hope. I get it, but come on. He had to show you the reconstructed head of your dead friend.
You give it high praise. That's good. I mean, there's one little character clearly did not ruin it for you because
and that happens.
That's pretty high. I'm surprised. I'm surprised because it's a slow movie. Yeah, it's a very intricate, well-written movie.
I don't think it's that slow. Like it is, but I feel the way certain things go, kind of get like a little.
I don't mean slow, but action slow.
Oh,
because we're so used to action.
Sure.
And it is not that at all. There's little set pieces of things that happen here, that are, violent, but mostly it's a talking, thinking movie all the way through. And some people will find that slow, particularly modern people, I mean, people born since the 90s. Yeah. Or mid 80s. Yeah, but lucky you're on the edge of that. So you definitely get some of that, but yeah. I'm glad you liked it. And I'm gonna give it, 4.5 as well. I love this movie, and I'm glad I got to see it when I was a teenager. And as I was telling Tony before this, for whatever reason, I'm originally from Indiana, small town Indiana. This was one of the movies we loved. We absolutely adored it. And thinking back, I can't figure out why. Well, one, I can't figure out. I mean, VHS rental stores were big, so maybe because of that, it came into our lives. But I can't imagine why us as kids running around, Superman at the time, that kind of stuff, Star Wars, we would actually love this movie. I mean, granted, it's a great movie, but when I guess this came out in 83, something like that. So I would have been 15 or so. Why does a 15-year-old from 1983 enjoy this? I don't know. Yeah. But I'm glad I do. I'm glad I have fond memories 40 years later.
He's a strong character. Like, he's a really strong, smart, you can't necessarily say charismatic per se, but when a character operates in kind of like this like confident strength, which he does most of the time.
He's an odd looking duck.
Yeah.
But sometimes when they would put the camera on him in the right way, he was quite handsome.
Yeah.
But then other times, like I'm seeing him out of the side of he's got like a melon head or something.
Yeah. That's funny for his character. There's a presence to who he is and what he's trying to do. I mean, this is a dude who doesn't want to put up with BS. He doesn't feel like it. Can we all relate? I don't want to do this. This isn't my thing, man. Do I have to? Everyone's on there. Prashad's ready for it. The pathologist is like, I don't want to deal with anything with the kids. Like, everyone's just like, we don't want to deal with this shit, please. Living here sucks. I don't want to deal with the kids.
All right. So let's end this. High praise from us, which is great. Yeah. And you'd like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know if you've seen this. One of the things I like doing is remembering forgotten movies. And this is, granted, there's people that know it, but I mean, even if you look up reviews for this on online, there's not a lot. And it would be nice to get people to remember these and go back to movie making the way
resurgence.
Yeah. So let me know if you've seen it, and if you enjoyed it, if you find it tedious. And I'll bringing good movies to Tony. Yep.
Yeah. And actually, if you'd like this, do Prizzy's Honor too. It's on that level of just like the complexities.
But the Name of the Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. And Zardos.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. We're out of here.
Have a good one.
Yeah, Zardos.
Yeah, Zardoz. I don't know where that got popped. Those types of things when we go to Zardoz.
Actors, because of characters. Because, you know, Sean Connery is a character.
Run around with your top off, just screaming, "Find him!
It's
Get
plastic.
him!"
Plastic.
Mm-hmm.
No, but yeah, no, this movie, 40 years later, still holds up.
Yeah.
As something unique and
Mm-hmm.
wonderful and dreary and just strong characters and, you know, so much of everything that happens.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Yeah, there's a type of writing like this that's so easily authentic with characters. And I feel at some point the simplicity people think, and I don't know, people have a way of ruining everything. Like that source simplicity is nice, but that becomes, you know, the status quo. That becomes the everyday, and everyone's like that. Ooh, that's boring. And then they want to add to make complexity when they just muddy the waters. They don't know the direction they're going in. People are confused about everything.
Yeah.
There's so many different opinions and external data that they can jump to, and now none of it feels right. When just be the thing. It's cool that you're just the thing.
I think they've lost, you know, at least the writers today don't have the experience or the desire to do anything like this.
Yeah.
And, you know, or they're not being paid to do anything like this today. Maybe, was it Megapolis? Did you see that? Came out a couple months ago.
Mm-mm.
Scorsese? Yeah, not a good movie. But
Yeah.
it does, because he is an older writer-director, it does have some feelings like this, only done with today's limited attention span.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're out of here.
Yeah, that's it.
3, 2, 1.